Batman vs. Captain America is one of the most hotly debated fights among fans, and there's a good reason why. You could talk about that fight for years and never come to a clear consensus. But today, we're not talking about Batman vs. Captain America, but instead, evil Batman versus evil Captain America. I'm talking about the Batman who laughs versus Hydra Cap. Who wins? Well, let's find out. The Batman who laughs is the Dark Knight of Earth 22 and the chosen herald of Barbados. He was infected by a nanotoxin in the Joker's bloodstream upon his enemy's death, and the combination of the Joker's depravity and Bruce Wayne's tactical mind created the deadliest villain his planet had ever seen. On Earth 22, Joker managed to capture and tie up Batman in an alley, telling him that tonight would be the night, that it is gonna happen tonight. At that moment, a little girl and her parents start to walk down the alley, and Joker just casually guns down the parents and proceeds to jokerize the little girl, causing her to incessantly laugh. All this was just too much for the Dark Knight, and caused him to cross the line, snapping Joker's neck. Now, you might think that this would have saved countless people's lives, who would have presumably died at the hands of the Joker. But oh, how wrong you'd be. See, when the Joker died, Bruce ended up inhaling nanotoxins emitted from the Joker's body. After being infected, Batman proceeded to kill Dick, Jason, Tim, Damian, and the other members of the Bat family. He then goes up to the Watchtower and kills the entire Justice League. Now, this version of Bruce is identical to our version of Bruce on a cellular level, and is strong enough to injure Bruce with his punches. He's also more durable, as allegedly positive matter beings can't hurt dark matter as much. He supposedly also got all the same training, skill, and determination as Prime Earth Batman. Was actually beating the regular Bruce in a fight, likely because Batman Who Laughs wasn't holding back in any way. Batman Who Laughs is also an absolute master of prep, as he killed Plastic Man, Martian Manhunter, Hawkman, Orion, Flash, Wonder Woman, and Red Tornado on his Earth. He then proceeded to badly injure Superman and Superboy, infect them with black kryptonite, and then get them to kill Lois before having them die. He also beat armies of supervillains with prep, and even seemingly killed the Spectre. He keeps his Robins on a chain at all times, and these little guys are vicious, as they tore apart members of the Court of Owls, beat the Suicide Squad and Teen Titans, and even took a sword through the mouth and was still alive. Then, in the other corner of Hydra Captain America, an alternate Steve Rogers created by Kobik on the Red Skull's orders. This version was a Hydra sleeper agent who replaced the real Captain America and imposed an authoritarian dictatorship over the world, denouncing freedom as chaos, an impediment to order and security. During the battle against the Iron Nail, the normal 616 version of Captain America had the super soldier serum within his body neutralized, which instantly caused him to age into an elderly man. Steve continued on like this for a while, but he was nearly killed by Crossbones. Kobik, the living cosmic cube, felt pity for Steve and decided to bring him back to his prime. Only thing is, Kobik was actually a Hydra double agent, and instead of bringing Steve back to his prime, she actually replaced him with a Captain America from an alternate timeline, who was a Hydra agent as well. This version of Steve actually despised Red Skull, believing that his version of Hydra preached blind hatred and intolerance, all with the purpose to glorify himself, and set out to kill Red Skull and restore Hydra to its former glory. Through cunning and manipulation, Captain America became the director of S.H.I.E.L.D., and even got the S.H.I.E.L.D. Act passed through Congress, which greatly expanded the organization's authority with law enforcement, mass surveillance, and resource allocation. It even allowed for the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. to take absolute control of the country if there was a national emergency. So Captain America made a national emergency by trapping most of the heroes outside of the Earth's atmosphere, and most of the few remaining ones inside New York City. Steve then led S.H.I.E.L.D. and Hydra forces on Washington, D.C. and took over the country, installing a new fascist regime. However, the few surviving heroes managed to influence and manipulate the Cosmic Cube, bringing back the old heroic Captain America. They fought and fought, but Captain America was finally able to claim the victory and Hydra Cap was defeated. This version of Captain America, Hydra Cap that is for all intents and purposes physically the same as 616 Cap, meaning that he's just as strong, just as fast, just as durable, and just as skilled as the normal Steve. So, who wins? Well, let's break it down. Well, actually, before we break it down, we should probably lay down some ground rules. Or really, there are more restrictions on the Batman Who Laughs, in order to make this a more fair fight. Because this version of Batman is an absolute beast in almost every area. I mean, imagine Batman going insane, and has no problem killing, but still retains all of his skill and intelligence. That's the Batman Who Laughs, and that is a dangerous opponent, whoever he's going up against. So, for starters, this will be a random matchup, and Bruce won't have time to prepare beforehand, because if he had time to prepare, well, he would just dominate and destroy Hydra Steve. I mean, with prep, he killed the Bat Family, killed the Justice League, including people like Superman, Wonder Woman, and Martian Manhunter, and even killed the Spectre and armies of supervillains. And Batman has claimed that he's done this on multiple worlds. Hydra Cap will be a walk in the park for Batman, regardless of how dangerous a fighter Steve is. The Batman Who Laughs also won't have access to his Robins in this fight, simply because that would be a really unfair numbers advantage. I mean, 4-on-1 just isn't fair. Plus, these Robins have not only beaten the Court of Owls and Killer Croc, but actually took down the Teen Titans and Suicide Squad. Granted, it was off-panel, so we don't exactly know how they did it, but I still just think all those things working against Steve wouldn't be a fair fight. An easy victory for the Batman Who Laughs. So we're just going to make this a random showdown between the two of them, where both would have a shot at taking home the W. So who wins that fight? Well, physically, Captain America has a nice advantage. Not both of these guys are physically the same as the typical versions of our heroes. And I've heard some people argue that Captain America is actually just barely stronger or more powerful than Batman. Well, I just don't think that's true at all. People like to use the example of Batman lifting half a ton as a maintenance weight, but Steve benched a ton during his workouts. Let's also look at their higher end showings, because Cap absolutely smokes Bruce in that area. Batman has supported the weight of several tons of debris, but he had the help of a pipe to do it. He also caught giant statues, which look like they weigh a couple tons each, but he used a makeshift pulley to hold them up, which would have taken a lot of the weight off of him alone. On the other hand, Steve has lifted up a roughly 12-ton pillar of solid concrete, and he had no leverage or pulleys to help him out. So the idea that Cap is only around 10 to 20% stronger than Batman, which I've heard some people suggest, is just insane. Steve is clearly much stronger and more powerful. And since Hydra Cap and Batman Who Laughs are physically the same as the normal Batman and Cap, that means Hydra Cap is much stronger than the Batman Who Laughs. And since neither of them are going to be holding back in this fight, that means that Cap is going to have devastating striking power and throw some killer punches. I mean, the normal Cap has managed to punch a man's head 180 degrees around, or kick his foot straight through someone's body. That's crazy. Cap is also faster than Batman, both in speed and agility. Really, the area where they're closest would probably be durability, because positive matter beings can't hurt dark matter beings as much as they hurt another positive matter being. So every punch that Cap throws isn't going to be as effective against Batman Who Laughs as they would be if he was throwing them against someone else. But that's just talking about physicality. I mean, that's just one aspect of this fight. You've also got to factor in fighting skill, intelligence, and things like that. And in that area, I believe Batman Who Laughs takes the solid advantage. So both of these characters' backstory and history can appear a bit convoluted and confusing. But just hang with me here. So basically, Captain Hydra has a lot of the same history and same feats as 616 Cap, except for the fact that it was indoctrinated by Hydra. Now, not everything is exactly the same, as Hydra Cap was never an Avenger, and his version of World War II went a whole lot differently than World War II on the 616 Earth. But he does have a lot of the same feats and experience. On the other hand, Batman Who Laughs has essentially the same history as New 52 Batman, up until a certain point, supposedly after Forever Evil. However, with that history and background, I've got to say that Batman Who Laughs is the better and more skilled fighter. I've always believed that Prime Earth Batman is the better fighter than 616 Captain America, and Batman Who Laughs put the beat down on Bruce until the Joker showed up and it became a 2-on-1 fight. Now, you could say that this was just because Batman Who Laughs knew every move that Batman would throw at him. But you could also flip that and say that Batman knew every move Batman Who Laughs would throw at him, since they're both Bruce Wayne and had the same skill and experiences. Basically the same person, except one is evil and one is good. On the other hand, when Hydra Cap fought against 616 Cap, it was an extremely even fight. And Hydra Cap was in his own version of the Iron Man armor, and 616 Steve wasn't. Good Cap did win the fight, but that was because he hit him with Mjolnir, so we can't really count that. But even before then, it was an even showdown. Then Batman Who Laughs has a much better arsenal as well. It's kinda tough to nail down a clear set arsenal for him, as he doesn't have many appearances. But he has shown a deadly Joker toxin that can kill and destroy people, as well as guns that shoot 8th metal bullets, which is supposed to be made of the same material as Wonder Woman's invisible jet, and actually knocked out Wonder Woman. And Captain America isn't nearly as impressive in the gear department, as his shield isn't the famous Unbreakable version. In fact, it was shattered by Miles Morales. So, at the end of the day, who wins? Well, at the beginning of this fight, I thought it was basically a bloodlusted version of New 52 Batman and 616 Captain America. But it's not. Physically, Hydra Cap has got the advantage in strength and speed. But since Batman Who Laughs is made out of dark matter, Cap's punches aren't going to be super effective against him, and each punch will actually make Cap weaker. Then, on top of that, Batman Who Laughs is the better and more skilled fighter, and has the better and more dangerous gear. Hydra Cap could earn the victory if he puts Batman down as quickly as possible. But for the most part, Bruce is winning this one. The Batman Who Laughs wins. But what do y'all think? I would love to hear your thoughts, so sign off in the comments down below. Also, be sure to subscribe button. More videos just one every single weekday. And I'll see you next time.